Cities are undergoing continuous change, and they need to rapidly meet the needs of their new residents. When creating new, it is important to remember the stories of various places, their existing history and identity gained through the centuries. Cultural environment is not merely a stage. It is an integral part of us, our identity and our life. The vision in Vantaa's cultural environmental program is that Vantaa has rich and beloved cultural environments. This means that they are deemed significant, that they are multi-layered and well cared for. Our mission is Vantaa is known for its exemplary work for cultural environments. The 5 guidelines are: the identity of Vantaa residents is strengthened with cultural environmental education. We work together for cultural environments. Cultural environments are seen and heard in Vantaa. We take care that the values of cultural environments will be transmitted to future. We will enforce the resources of the maintenance and research of cultural environments. In February 2020, Vantaa's cultural environmental program was approved. During the making of the program, many events and actions were piloted. Implementation of all the action points was started after February 2020. COVID, however, changed some plans, but we are rescheduling all missing actions for the upcoming years. So let's take a glance of what we did and who were involved.
And I have actually some sort of a double role, because I have the profession as an archaeologist, and then I have my role as president of the homestead organization. But as an archaeologist, my job is to take care of the archaeological sites here in Vantaa, because in Vantaa there are hundreds of archaeological sites, and whenever you are building a new house that concerns an archaeological site, it's my job to see that it's being handled properly, but also to make the archaeological sites visible.
I would like to mention that the city of Vantaa has built put quite many signs telling stories about different sites, so that people who just walk through or don't know what the place is, they can read it, and there are also QR codes and things like that.
So this is actually an accomplishment of this cultural environment program.
Yes.
Also.
We both know there are many challenges in this field. First, of course, the difference between old buildings. People adore them. They are very much respected, like the old church we have and the old rural farmhouses and things like that. The old station, which is now a museum. But there are many new buildings that people don't recognize as valuable buildings, and even members of the city council, they are ready to
tear them
down. Yes.
Asemakaavoituksessa on yleensä se tilanne, että siihen ympäristöön kohdistuu tahtoja ja haluja monelta puolelta, ja mun työ on niin kuin yhteensovittaa niitä niin kuin tahtoja, ja aina se kulttuuriympäristö ei välttämättä ihan täysin pysty olemaan niin kuin täysin siinä muuttumattomana, tai yleensä muuttuukin aika paljon, niin toivotaan, että se muutos ei olisi liian suuri, ja se on niin kuin se haaste, ja sen punnitseminen oikeastaan on kaikkein isoin asia.
No mä sitten taas tuossa Vantaa-seurassa, kun meidän tavoitteena on saada ihmiset tutustumaan tähän omaan kotiseutuunsa ja sitä myöten täällä paremmin viihtymään, niin me toteutetaan sitä sitten sillä tavalla, että järjestetään erilaisia tapahtumia ja tilaisuuksia ja tutustutetaan ihmisiä tähän alueeseen, niin on sitten tosiaan järjestämässä näitä tilaisuuksia ja on ollut paljon oppaana. Ja mä painin ehkä paljon sen kanssa, että yritetään tavoittaa sitten näitä uusia vantaalaisia ja tietysti myös pitkään Vantaalla asuneita, mutta kun Vantaa koetaan semmoisena historiattomana kaupunkina, niin se tulee sitten monelle ihmiselle yllätyksenä, että ai täällä on jotain historiaa ja kulttuuriympäristöä ja perinteitä, mutta se on onneksi sitten positiivinen yllätys, mutta että se on niin kuin semmoinen haaste, että saisi ihmiset kiinnostumaan tästä omasta lähiympäristöstä.
For cultural environmental education, we made 4 mobile games to 4th to 7th graders. The games are a fun way of learning about your hometown. The idea is to carry out different kinds of tasks in the environment, like in Pokemon. You can try one of the games online. Here's the link. We didn't only plan education for children, but for all age groups. We have different kinds of events to residents, and we are engaged in inviting the decision makers to visit our museum and giving them presentations in their meetings. Also, cultural environmental education is used as part of social integration for immigrants. Cooperation between the city offices is continued in the cross-sectoral Committee for Cultural Environment Preservation. Inside the city, we want to encourage new people and departments to working with cultural environments. For example, we've had meetings with sports services where we planned a cultural environment hike to elderly people. We want more people in the city to understand how cultural environments can be part of their jobs. Cooperation with the residents is enforced by not only adding participation to the city's operation, but also by taking actively part to residents' happenings as well. We arranged 2 voluntary work happenings with residents and, for example, took part in regional festivals. We also got 1 local association to join the Adapt a Monument work, and now we have 3 adopted cultural environment sites in Vantaa altogether.
Kulttuuriympäristölinjauksilla on tarkoitus sitouttaa kaupungin toimijat toimimaan kulttuuriympäristö huomioiden ja myös on tarkoitus jakaa tietoa myös niin kuin kuntalaisille ja asukkaille tästä asiasta. Näin mä itse sen ymmärtäisin.
Ja päämääränä on varmastikin sitten lisätä sitä sekä asukkaiden että sen kulttuuriympäristön hyvinvointia ja että kulttuuriympäristöt säilyvät ja että se tietoisuus niistä kasvaa, niin se on niin kuin tärkeää.
It's our duty to bring these interesting stories about the ancient decades of the city.
Yes. Yeah. As I see it, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, yes.
The city, it grows very fast with all the people moving here, and then the city planners, they want to create an identity to the city, the different parts of the city. When we tell them about history and cultural environment, they don't have to make the identities from scratch, but they can use the history that actually is there and has been lying there for maybe thousands and thousands of years.
Vantaa's communication and marketing shared information in the resident magazine, internet and social media. We also had a column in the local magazine every month, and even the biggest newspaper in Finland was interested in our stories. We shared our museum's photos in Finna, a digital search engine for finding material from all Finnish archives, libraries, museums and other organizations. We will also write a press release every time a research has been published. Cultural environments were also taken to the big resident questionnaire sent to every household in every 2 years. We also made a plan with the city maintenance of where to put info signs. There are 30 info signs coming up in the future years. Also on 2021 we have an exhibition here at the Vantaa City Museum called A City Without Identity ? On this exhibition you can get to know the cultural environments in Vantaa, as well as the stories and opinions I collected from the residents during the making of the program. We also chose top 10 cultural environment sites for tourists and incorporated local businesses to our events and in developing cultural tourism in Vantaa together.
What was new to me was the importance of history, cultural environment also to business. Yes. Because you can build stories around what many businesses like cafes or restaurants, or that is also very important. And for decision makers, it is very important that they find also not that history is not only something that takes money, but it can also bring money.
Yes. If they have a history or a story, it's much more easily remembered than just a static place. Yes. With a sign.
In Finland, the legislation defines that the preservation of cultural environments is a co-operational decision-making process with several different actors. There are city planners, architects, museum staff, building permit personnel, politicians, residents, etc. It is clear that all of them have different kinds of opinions and values on environments. Some value economical aspects, some value the historical aspects.
And here we come down to that money. That's something that I noticed in this business, that people are really interested in history and culture until it comes to money. Then they want to make the most profit of everything.
Yeah, so. And of course those owners of that kind of buildings, like old department stores, they are not private people, they are not private persons, they are big companies, perhaps international companies. What they care about our cultural heritage?
They don't have the links.
They don't have the links, and they don't need the history.
Pitää ymmärtää se, että siellä on niin monta tahtoa, kun se tietysti päättäjät meillä sen asian päättää, että miten se ratkaistaan. Mutta erityisesti on haasteena siinä tietyt taloudelliset yhtälöt, sit se, että kaupunki ei itse omista sitä kaikkea maataan, eli se on jatkuvaa yhteensovittamista ja keskustelua. Onhan tämä kulttuurilinjaustyö myös sellainen asia, jolla meidän päättäjät enemmän pääsevät niin kuin perille siitä, että mitkä ne historian eri vaiheiden arvot on.
Niin, kyllä nämä kulttuuriympäristölinjaukset varmaan auttaa niin kuin nostamaan sen kulttuuriympäristön arvostusta, ja sitten sitä on helpompi suojella ja arvottaa, kun sitä niin kuin ymmärretään sen päälle ja tiedetään ja tunnetaan ja tunnustetaan se.
Kyllä omassa työssäkin, kun miettii kaavoittajana, niin se kerroksellisuus on tärkeää, että siellä jäisi niin kuin eri vuosikymmenten rakennuksia siihen ympäristöön. Ja on toki myös tärkeää, että miten se uusi asettuu siihen vanhaan, mikä niiden keskustelu ja vuoropuhelu ja mikä on niin kuin se koko sen suunnitelman suhde maisemaan. Se on niin kuin myös minusta iso asia. Ja mikä on niin kuin oikea kerroskorkeus mihinkin. Että sen tapaisia asioita mä tosi paljon työssäni teen ja mietitään päivittäin, että mikä olisi niin kuin kaupunkikuvan kannalta se paras ratkaisu. Mutta että kyllä se kerroksellisuus tämmöisessä kaupungissa on tärkeää. Eli että jää niin kuin historiaa myös kertomaan osana elävää kaupunkia.
Siinä on varmaan paineita kyllä, niin kuin tuossa oli jo puhetta, että tulee eri tahoilta, kun pitää kasvaa, on pakko oikeastaan kasvaa, kun kaupunkiin tulee koko ajan uutta väestöä ja tarvitaan palveluita, että miten sitten rakennetaan niitä.
And the value of the program is also that it gives value to our environment, and it makes it easier to get the value bigger. So it also helps business to do better business.
Yes, it has actually very long-term effects because you have to be very patient in doing it because lifelong learning process. So you have to tell the children about their own living area and the history. So then you have to wait the 10-20 years when they become adults, and then when they go into business and see, then they might see the things very in our own way, respectful way, and take care of it. So
yes, and of course the efficiency of this kind of program, it can't be measured now, no. And it can't be measured in 10 years, but in a long-term period it can be measured if we can ask the right questions.
Mm. I have an example that I heard in radio about a British football team that they had a small fan base, but they started to give out season cards for free to school children. And they started going to their games.
They
and then they went
to be their fans.
Yes, and then they grew up, and then they started also buying those seasonal tickets.
Giving is also a part of marketing.
Yes, so you can
that's a good way. Yeah.